Los Glaciares National Park, Argentina, April 2010.
I'm filming it. I don't care if my camera gets wet. This is too awesome.
This incredible blue crystal cave looks like the biggest, most perfect ice sculpture.
This is beautiful.
But it's actually the work of nature. Julian Struve explains.
Well, the caves are really formed from meltwater. So you have meltwater that accumulates on the surface of a glacier or an ice sheet, and eventually that meltwater drains. And it drains through channels in the ice sheet or the glacier, and that carves out tunnels and caves.
Photographer Robbie Schoen captures never-before-seen images of crystal caves under the Gorner Glacier, Switzerland.
It's all very clean washed and very pristine. The ice is like plastic to the touch. It's very shiny and smooth. Carved sculptures of shapes in the wall that are really, really reflective, and it's all carved through the ice by water.
What makes these crystal caves so surreal are their eerie blue lights.
When ice has been around for quite some time, it gets compressed by constant accumulation of snowfall, and the weight of all of that starts compressing the ice. And what it does is it pushes out all of the air bubbles that were in that ice, leaving behind pure, transparent ice. And ice tends to absorb colors in sort of the red and the greens, so it leaves behind the blue light. And that is why we'll see very, very bright blue glacial ice in some parts of the world.
However, these beautiful structures are only temporary. Constantly on the move, glacier caves can be gone after a matter of days.
The caves are going to be constantly changing. I mean, they're being formed by the water that's flowing from the glacier or the ice sheet. And you have to remember that this ice is always moving. And so ice is actually quite dangerous if you're standing on glaciers because it is a moving entity, it's not stable. And when you go into these caves that you might find at the edge of a glacier, you have to be very careful because that cave could collapse on you.
Suspended in the ceiling of these glacier caves, you can see rocks. Some are only small, some are quite big, and you know that at some point, eventually, these things are going to just fall out of the ceiling, and if you're stood underneath them, you're going to get very little warning about where it's coming from. You're kind of on the move in slow motion, so to speak, always with that element of risk that these things are alive and they could just collapse at any moment. When we exit the caves, there is a sense of achievement and a sense that we've been somewhere where nobody's been before, and there's a good chance nobody might ever go back because it will disappear within a few months' time. And that's very exciting.
So explore these extraordinary blue crystal caves while you can. They may not be there next year. Lake Havasu, Arizona, April 2011.
The coolest looking clouds, they look like jellyfish all over the place.
This observer is right on the money. These fantastical clouds are technically called Altocumulus castellanus. But their wispy tendrils have inspired cloud experts to rename them jellyfish clouds. Katja Friedrich from the University of Colorado Boulder explains what's causing them.
A jellyfish cloud is nothing else than a cloud that's trying to rain out. So you have rain droplets leaving the cloud, falling down, and as they fall down into a very dry environment, they evaporate, so they never to the ground. And then you have these fuzzy tentacles that go down, which is nothing else than small raindrops evaporating.
These tentacles are actually known as virga. Cloud expert Gavin Preter-Pinney reveals more about their strange shape.
The nature of the air can vary greatly in our atmosphere. It's very, very stratified. So as the precipitation falls, it can descend into a layer with quite a stiff wind. This can make it appear to be whipped along, and so it always looks like the sort of thing that would sting you.
If you see a jellyfish cloud, this is actually a really nice phenomenon. You can take pictures, you will not get wet because you can make sure that all these raindrops are being evaporated. And it's also a very nice indication of a very dry environment.
Coming up, a freak wave causes chaos in China. And why Yosemite's rivers turn into giant Slurpees.
go. Here it comes.
The Qiongtong River, eastern China, August 2013. A vast wall of water thunders not downstream, but back upstream. It's not a tsunami, but a tidal bore. The Qiongtong River has the world's largest, a long breaking wave of water, known as the Silver Dragon. It's the river in reverse, and every year it attracts hundreds of thousands of spectators. And in August 2013, they're in for a surprise. The wave rears up 65 feet as it tears through the city of Hangzhou, ripping down steel fencing, smashing concrete walls, and injuring 30 people. Happen when the ocean surges back into a river. As Randy Cervini explains, it's all caused by the movement of the tides.
A tidal bore is the result of the gravitational pull of the moon. The gravity of the moon actually pulls not only our atmosphere, but it pulls the water up as well. Well, along the coast, if you pull the water up, that's
Insurance can be